Do y'all remember 2019? It was before all the craziness happened in 2020, and we just thought, we just knew that 2021 was going to be so much better. Well, it was a little bit better, but let's be real. Half of it was kind of trash, and we don't know how the rest of it is going to end. But in 2019, I remember this very clearly. Um, Despite me coming to the terms with me being a nerd, people told me, fine, I accepted. I've actually never been to any Comic Con or anything like it. But for years, my sister has been begging, persuading me to come down to Florida and go to this thing called Pensacon, which is a Comic Con equivalent, just smaller than you. Uh, and I needed a break, so I took the trip. Hi, you're just joining me. Welcome to Simon Scribe. Normally we talk about Christian artistry, and we still will, but this is kind of a pivot. I'll explain at the end of the video. So anyway, it's 2019, and I'm going to my first con, and you don't know me. I'm a little apprehensive about the whole thing because, for one, I'm introverted. I'm kind of socially awkward, and it gets worse based upon unfamiliar surrounding. So you have me in a state that I'm not familiar in. Uh, Nah, beside my sister, a few family down there. I said I'm all right, but for the most part, I don't know too many people down there. I'm put into a large crowd, which is something I typically don't like. Surrounded by people I don't know, and that just kind of usually that makes it go downhill from there. Uh, and to, point, to even add insult to injury, I remember the day before. So it was, I believe this was happening on a Friday. So it was like the weekend. So it was like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of deal. So that Thursday, me and my sister, we are out in the cold at dead at night for waiting to get our tickets. And this line was the longest line I've ever been in. Yeah, no, it was a long line. No, I'm showing footage, of course, by now. And it kind of was at the stadium, and it wraps around. It was crazy. Um, and that's when I just kind of my introduction that I've never been around. I'm gonna say this as nerds as I can, my own kind. Uh, People that care about the nerdy things I do, or nerdy things that I care about in close proximity. Now, my closest friends they do, so we're talking two people other than myself that I grew up with that we can talk comic books, we can talk video games, we can talk TV shows, we could talk some sci-fi. Actually, my uncle and I we can talk some good sci-fi. But it's usually a small circle. It's not really big. Uh, if let's see, I'm not super old. I'm 33, but I remember when it was lame. If you played, you remember the card game slash anime show Yu-Gi-Oh. If you was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, you got caught. Boy, they tore you up. Meanwhile, I was in high school reading comic books, and I didn't look the part. Um, so it wasn't cool to be in to really be an anime. Well, people were watching some anime, but it was kind of kept low key. It wasn't as big as it is now, or any kind of nerd culture. Wasn't really that big. So this is my first time that I was surrounded by people that's kind of like minded. Um, so it was like my nerdness and above. Like I could talk with some people. Let me just tell you how nerdy we were. I was in this room and we played nerd trivia, and it was fun. People, I had fun. That's what you understand. It was that kind of nerd atmosphere, and I loved it. We talked Batman, we talked Star Wars, we talked Star Trek, all a bunch of comic book characters, and it was the first time that I. It was like I feel like if you're a sports fan, it is not hard for you to find others who share in your enthusiasm about it. Like You literally can go when there's a game. You can go to the stadium. You go to see the baseball, to the football, to the basketball, and you are surrounded by people who love the same thing you do. This was like that, and I never experienced that before. But instead of any kind of sports athletics, we're surrounded around the creativity, the art, the nerd culture, and it was the weird, but at the same time, kind of cool. I saw anime characters represented. I saw comic book characters represented. I saw a whole bunch of my fandoms, and it was just fun trying to pick out, trying to place the costumes that people were wearing. You gotta understand. I've never dressed up as. I'm not talking those plays, but I really never dressed up in any of the fandoms that I like. I never even dressed up for Halloween. I didn't celebrate Halloween. Never dressed up anything like that. So my apprehension is coming from that place. But I'm so glad I went. I met interesting people, including some solid actors, mostly B-list. But hey, if you met the John Connor from Terminator 2, which is like the best Terminator, then I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. Or I think I saw the Red Power Ranger, the original Jason. The voice so goofy. It was like several little stuff like that where I thought, you know what, this is actually kind of cool. And it kind of struck me later just how impactful all of this is. All of these ideas and concepts that we're dressed as, we're talking about it. You know, we would get made fun of because none of it really exists. The debates of uh, who will win, Batman or Captain America, if they did a cross platform. Who's stronger, Superman or the Hulk. We're having debates about people who don't exist, except in our imaginations and on a very colorful page. Uh, but it just helped me to just kind of just see just how impactful this is. So I made this channel trying to surround about art and Christian artistry specifically. And what I've come to realize is, and kind of putting this little the nerd part of me to the side, when really all of this is intertwining. There's a reason why that I'm getting Christian comic books, or I even got like the Action Bible, which is the Bible in like graphic art form. It's because I love the comic books before. I love the graphic novels before. I love the sci-fi before, which will help me to expand into the Christian input. So what now I want to see, and hopefully I'll be able to produce, is I want Christianity to be present in this creative content, because clearly I've seen that people like myself care so much about the art styles, the creativity. I'm just saying nerd culture, geek culture, whatever you want to call it, um, because it lets your imagination run wild. And I know for a lot of us, this isn't just cool stuff. There's meaning that we put into these stories. They're colorful, they're fantastic, but there's meaning. People, good or bad, may be getting their morality from these stories, and which is where I kind of want to pivot my channel a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I'm still looking and displaying Christian art form, but art form in its general, I just see uh, Christ in everything. I see Christ in when I'm watching Spider-Man or My Hero Academia. So you're gonna see videos where I'm just gonna bring up, pop culture, some nerd references, and just kind of point out where I just see the Jesus or the biblical principles behind these things. Some of it may seem like a stretch, but hey, I'm watching it. I think in my head, that reminds me of something Jesus said. And I think it'd be cool just to kind of show that. So, I hope you don't mind. Hope you enjoy. And hope you subscribe to the scribe. Take care.
There's a rainbow in your smile. There's a kiss inside your eyes. And every word is a love letter in a song we sing together. You're a flame that never dies. Oh, I'm safe beside your light.